Hey, this is Mike Eldred with Cabron Guitars. Hi. I wanted to show you this thing that we do here. This is called the blends around the headstock, and if you can see how sharp that is. It's the neck's been sanded. I've rough sanded the back shape and all that stuff. But if you see here on the heel, it's sharp. See that right there? It's sharp there. And so I'm going to show you how I take care of that. And everything else is done really, except that now these blends have to be done. And this is kind of a cool thing because especially the guys at the custom shop, they do a real good job of doing this blending in here. And it's kind of, because of the stuff that they do there, where it's kind of more traditional style, vintage style Fender stuff, that's kind of really important. But I like to do it, and I've been doing it like this. This is how I did it at Charvel. But you can see how sharp that is like that. That's not what you want. What you want to do is you're trying to blend this plane into this plane. So this has to go away and it has to blend in. And the way that I approach it, and you'll see, is that I kind of reference here and then curve it around like this. And that's really kind of what you do. Now you can use a piece of a tube like that, which I do for finishing up stuff. You can use that, or you can get like a block. There's a block over here. Here, I'll show you. There's a block that I got. This is kind of cool. Piece of rubber like that. Kind of, can you see that? I guess there you go. Like a piece of rubber tubing, and you just put sandpaper around that and sand it all up. But anyways, the way I do it is I do it with a half round file. I start off with a half round file. If you have if you have something that's more aggressive, you can approach it with a rasp. This is a nice rasp that I got at Tokyo Hands in Japan, really great. But I don't need that for this right now. It's good because when I get done with the back shape sanding, it's just this little thing. So I'm going to show you how I do that. Hopefully it'll come through on this video. Sorry, I'm not a videographer too good, but hopefully you can see how I go about approaching this, and it won't be all blurry. I don't know. So crazy. Here we go. So I kind of just start and kind of knock that back. You see, I'm starting from this side, not from this side. I'm starting from this side because I want it to just kind of blend in and curve around, and you'll see how I get that going like that. Anyways, like this, and then you'll see it starts to blend around. Hard to do this and make sure that the camera's catching it. But around like that, and you'll see it kind of starting to blend together. And you got to keep going. You can't stay in one spot or you'll get a divot. And so you'll see, it's kind of blurry, sorry. You'll see as I do this. You'll see how I do this, where it starts to blend in a little bit more. But if you stay in one spot, you'll get a divot, and you don't want that. So you have to keep it going like that. And now see, as I started to break that over, now I'll come in here and I'll start from this side. And you got to stay away from this little part right here too, otherwise you'll screw it all up. But anyways, like that. I'm coming from this side, and it's just blending it in, you know. And then back over to the top, bring it back around again. And once you start seeing that, you can see that it's just nice and smooth. I don't know if you can catch that. You see it blending a lot better. And then the same thing, you do the same thing over here with this part. Again, starting with a flat side and then just blending it over. Rolling it over basically is what you're doing. But you got to be careful. You got to be careful of this part right here. And you just got to do it like that. And this is a fairly fine file. But what I'll do, it gives me a little bit more control. And then what I'll do is I'll go back over it with that tube and clean it all up. And then you just bring it over here. So you want this to just all blend together like that. I hope you're catching that. You can see that. See? Hopefully you can get that. If not, I apologize. And I do the same thing for down in here. But I flip it around like this usually. And you can really see how sharp that is. I'll start on this side first. I don't normally start on that side. And again, I'm starting on the flat side and then just rolling it over. You want to stay back from away from this stuff too. Sometimes guys will put a neck plate on here and draw a line. Just shows them where to stay away from. But yeah, that's about it. And then here's one that I've already done. And I'll show you what that looks like. See, it's nice and rounded over now. And on the butt. Not done. That's not done now. I'll go back with sandpaper now, sand it over. Anyways, that's it. Hope that helps. If not, oh well.